Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another episode of Hot Mic. I'll be your host, Maven, and we've got another set of 4 teams here in the Global Pro League competing to try and battle for their share of a $500,000 playoff. Let's introduce our guest for this week. To my left, who are you?
I'm Tyler, Felony Johnson, also known as Felony. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. It's your second time on Hot Mic?
Yes.
How was the travel here? How's the team looking?
Nice little 3-hour drive. It was good.
Oh, you got to drive?
Yeah, just a 200-mile straight shot on the highway. Team's looking good. A lot of 8s, a lot of scrims going up until the event. Awesome,
awesome. Well, looking forward to see what you guys can do this weekend. Next up, Pristini from E United. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, pal. How are you? Actually, before you answer that, I'm going to say it's Pristini. He's already introduced me, but I'm going to introduce myself because I feel it's proper.
It is proper. You were enjoying. What were you having just a moment ago? A double chalupa or something?
Oh, dude. Fire. If you haven't tried it, I recommend it 100%. Go Taco Bell, $5 box.
Last time I went to Taco Bell, they gave me a crunch wrap with only nacho cheese.
Oh, that wasn't polite of them.
Dude, my last taco literally had 0 meat.
Can't go there again.
That's
salty.
Sorry.
Next up, we've got a couple of guys here competing for the European sides. It's Splice, it's Mad Cat. How are you, sir?
I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah, you guys ready? Fired up? You've been having a nice run these past couple months. How's the team looking?
We're nice. We're nice.
Nice, nice. All right, well, excited to see what you guys can do. You've made some deep runs at tournaments here recently. And then finally, Rated. It's the first time I've had you on the desk. I'm trusting you.
I mean, I promised you something at season 1, so
yeah, that's true. You did.
Right.
You did promise
I said I'd
me.
be here.
What was it that you would get? Was it you get top 2 or you'd be here for stage 2?
Like we get top 2 this season.
All right.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. This is we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about it. But this is one of the scariest groups we've had so far. Maybe the scariest groups out of the entire Global Pro League. But now I do want to get Twitter involved. We like to get your guys' opinions, use your questions as well. Not only do we have some amazing action this weekend, but Game of Thrones is also coming back. We want to know what house you think these guys would belong to, and we're going to be showing some of the answers throughout the course of this week. And I saw some of them on Twitter. They were comical, but use the hashtag MLGHotMic. Let us know your guys' thoughts. But I do want to start with a question. You know, there's been some crazy team changes going on. There were a lot of questions about who was going to be on the show this weekend. What's our first question going to be? It was all right. So why no Clayster? So there have been a lot of questions about Clay not being on the show. Pristini, it's because I like you more. But Clay, we actually do have him here. He is involved in the broadcast. I believe we have him just off camera. Clayster is going to be moderating the chat throughout the course of this, so behave yourselves. We know how much he loves to be in these chats. He has some select words to say about enabling company last week. But no, actually, Clay's on the show because last night he was hanging out with Jack Courage Dunlop. He shattered his phone, and he, I believe, is at a repair store. It's what Clay is actually doing currently. But all right, now I know the opinions do vary on here, but we did see Fnatic get through. Quickly becoming one of my favorite players has been Scraps, and he has been very interesting on Twitter as of late. We put together some montages of his best moments. Let's take a look.
I'm a fidget kind of guy. What are you saying?
I'm about to get in the shower.
Oh, Twitter. Look who we've got here.
I've just got out of the shower.
I've got the full package. I've got the summer collection. Got my new cap, you know. You always had spirit. They can bend my flesh. Listen, you farmer. Go milk a cow. Don't get me started on a Yardie t-shirt. Oh my god. I'm looking lean.
I want to hear casters screaming, oh, I hope he gets a 3-piece. I hope he gets 1, he gets 2. I hope he gets a 3-piece.
Wait a minute.
Listen, Dill, forget about that. Get some food, get some rest. Back at 8 tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Qualify for playoffs.
I've got a brand new wardrobe in there. Phew, don't even worry about it. I'm crying.
He has become one of my favorite players as of late, the Twins. So okay, I only started learning about them really this year. For you guys down on the end, how long have they been around? They sort of come out of nowhere this year?
Wuskins definitely did. But Scraps was like more towards the end of last year.
Sorry, Scraps he actually played really, really well.
Yeah, Wuskins. This is Wuskins' first year though.
They've been a real delight, but I think they have the same couple of jokes that circulate amongst the two players there. But what's it like competing against these guys?
Oh, competing. I don't know. You just play against them, and then after you say GGs, but they're two clowns. They both got the thick Manchester accent, so I don't know. Like,
oh, I don't know anything that was said in that video.
Oh, it's very hard to understand, like for me to personally understand them. But I'm starting to get used to like the specific words that they say, and I'm starting to catch on to it.
Oh, God, those two crack me up. Well, hey, before we start talking actually about the matches this week, I do want to do a recap from last week. So I'm imagining you guys probably watched most of the action. First thing I want to talk about is actually I want to speak about Enigma 6 and Pristini, what they were able to do, because did you watch the series where they end up reverse sweeping FaZe, the one that kept them alive at the end of day 2? I mean, how impressive was it for them to do that? And then they go 6-0 on day 3 to close out. What makes this Enigma 6 team special, buddy?
Honestly, the whole chemistry thing, it just dropping Reese for Royalty brought in a lot more slaying power, faster gameplay. So for their uplink, I feel like it should be better. I feel like it got worse somehow though, because uplink takes fast gameplay, you know, but Royalty is probably the fastest player, plays on what, 7-7?
Faster than everybody else.
Yeah, so he's just a maniac playing on 7-7, running at you, turning on everybody, doing this, doing that, you know, getting kills somehow. He still shoots straighter than me, so I'm like, I don't know how the hell he does it. But yeah, for them to come back and somehow qualify is really impressive. I expected them to. I honestly expected it to be FaZe and E6, no problem.
Well, I did too until, you know, we're a couple days in.
Yeah, Ghost really did improve a lot from online. We were scrimming them a lot, so for them to improve that much, it was really impressive. But I feel for the boys at Ghost. I like all of them, but
yeah, we'll touch on them a bit more. But that was definitely painful. The next team though I want to talk about is Elevate. Elevate went 0-18. Now, Rated, you left them after stage 1.
And people were calling me dumb.
People did call you dumb.
Who are dumb now?
Exactly. How did it feel to see that go down the way it did?
It's never nice because I'm still friends with them all, despite me leaving. So it's not nice to see your friends
struggle,
sink like that. But yeah, it was pretty hard to watch, to say the least.
I feel like going into the weekend, I'm not going to say they didn't expect to not win a map, but they expected to do very poorly, just based off of their confidence before the event.
Well, Watson on Hot Mic, I think, said,
yeah,
I'm hoping we can win a map, or a match. I don't remember what he said.
Map or match, regardless, it didn't happen. But yeah, you can just tell their confidence level was their placing. You know, they didn't expect to come out top 2 in their group.
Was it weird for you, too? I mean, you were on Elevate all of last year. We're going to talk a bit about your 2016, but it's almost insane to think all the top 3 finishes you had, and now that organization, just how that went at stage 2. Was it kind of weird for you to see that after representing Elevate for so long?
Yeah, at first, like at PSX, when Elevate first picked up that roster, we lost to them in the pool play stage, and then we beat them in the bracket stage. So going through the year, I was like, you know, they're not a bad team. I expect them to place within the top 8. But throughout the year, they've kind of just, ever since they made a roster change, they kind of just went back a little bit.
Dylan, what were your thoughts on it?
It's egos, bro. Telling you, man. I don't know what happened with Zed. I think, was it Joe last year? He said Zed will be the best SMG this time next year.
Yeah.
Hmm?
In Europe.
I coughed.
Oh, yeah, the best SMG.
You're allowed to do that, buddy.
Wait, what did he say? Looked at me.
Wait, what did he say exactly?
I thought he said some other.
Yeah, he was talking
He
trash.
said he'd have a bet Zed would be the best SMG by next year. And going to the start of the year, he was actually quite good. And then I think he met an ego. But I think like the transatlantic relationship has took a toll on him. He's quite young, and I don't think he's right ready for it yet. So he's not the SMG you expect him to, but he actually is quite good online. Like he went 22-3 against me in a wager, then I saw him like 6-20 on land. So I think he needs to downgrade the internet and get like a make sure he's on the level as everyone else.
I saw a picture of his wrist. That looked kind of painful.
Yeah,
kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah,
no one knew about that. I think he kept that very quiet.
I had no idea until he showed me outside.
It looked like he had a bone sticking out of his wrist. How do you keep that secret?
Like a tennis ball. Like, you can't play with that.
It did not look good. But let's keep moving it along. So Elevate struggle mightily. I want to hear, Pristini, I guess you first, about what do you think about FaZe? This is the first time you've seen them. Obviously, you were on one end of that crazy thing that went down with Gunless. Now he's on the FaZe roster. First thoughts?
I really do think they're stronger than what they looked in their weekend, simply for the fact that not a lot of people expected Ghost to be as good as they were. And, you know, I didn't expect Ghost to be that good as well. But, you know, they improved a lot. they're a top team, I'd say now. They're a really good top contender, I guess. But, like, for them to, barely make it out of to qualify for playoffs, I really think they are a lot better than what they showed.
Maybe just need more time, more practice.
Yeah. Not even that. It's just they're really good right now. It's just Ghost is really good. E6, yeah, no, they're still a good team. It's just, I mean, with more practice, I think they'll get up there even better, you know.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the first couple of games they looked a bit shaky. Like, it's your first like event as a team, and everyone's really stuck together as teams now. So they got shown a couple of weaknesses. So I guess as the week progressed, they got better and better.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of pressure on that first match too. But all right, finally, let's talk about Ghost. They're 4-0. You know, they think they're sitting pretty. Basically, they were 12-2 map count going into Sunday. Unfortunately, Sunday is going to be the day where they have to play their two toughest opponents. They don't have the gift that was Elevate on their final day. I guess I pose this question to all of you guys. Is that one of the bigger collapses you've seen? I mean, being in control 4-0 and then going 1-6 in map counts on Sunday?
I feel like they kind of not let up going into Sunday, but after day 2, Lacefield tweeted that they qualified. So in all their heads, they kind of had it planned like, all right, we just have to go tomorrow, maybe win a map, play our hardest, get some good practice in. But as soon as they realized they couldn't qualify, it probably clicked in their heads, hey guys, we gotta win these matches. We have to go hard. We gotta win these. And I think it put a lot of pressure on them as a team.
Well, I saw the tweets, and I assumed they did. I mean, before I even talked, I didn't talk to League Ops until late Saturday night, and then they were like, no, they did not qualify. But you saw the tweets go out from the org, from Spacely, from Lacefield. You think you're sitting pretty. Then things crumble, and they face a similar fate at Anaheim, right? Because they bounced 0-3, I think, on the final day.
Yep, 2 straight matches. I don't think they won a map.
Yeah, I think when I looked at the bracket and you really look at the last games, they have played Elevate twice, whereas the other 2 teams only played Elevate once. So everyone had a 3-0. And Elevate were giving 3 maps out, so they basically weren't in the tournament.
Oh, they were?
Because they hadn't took a map off anyone, so everyone got the exact same result off them. So everyone was going to get a 3-0, 3-0. So it was just about if they could win maps against the other 2 teams, which they wasn't able to.
I feel like if Elevate took some maps here and there, it could have made the group a little bit different.
No, it would have made a difference though.
Yeah.
Because I swear the tiebreakers between the teams and the tires and all.
Okay, I had the longest conversation with Rami from League Ops, I think middle of the day Sunday, but I think at one point, like the 4th or 5th or 6th tiebreaker, somehow Elevate would end up getting tossed back into it, so if they took a map off somebody, it could have mattered, but ultimately, like Mad Cat said, it did not matter at all because they didn't take any. All right, well, talking about last week too, I want to look at one of the cooler plays we saw. This was a nail-biting uplink game between FaZe and E6. And in case you guys haven't seen it yet, let's take a look. Moving forward, trying to make a play, 3 seconds, nothing he can do, and that will be no! He gets it! He gets it forward!
He throws it back towards the back alley, and there's one play.
Oh my God!
Able to get it through. So it's Zuma here coming through the back.
That is so sick! Let's see it one more time here in slow-mo. So you heard me casting it. I thought it was done. And I felt like an idiot afterwards until I realized I think most people watching it thought the game was over. I mean, look at the clock. There, he puts it through with, what, 0 seconds basically there. He got hit with the EMP with 3 seconds left. I want to talk a bit about Clayster, your teammate here, Prasini, had a reaction. He said that was one of the sickest plays he's seen in this game so far. What are your thoughts? I thought that was crazy.
Honestly, I think it was, you know, you had to have a little bit of luck there. He just ended up throwing it up and landing in his hands, and he got the kill right before it landed, but otherwise he would have kept shooting and throwing the ball away and they would have won, or tied it. But yeah, I think it was a little bit lucky, but it was a sick play regardless. I mean, I'm sure he knew his teammate was back alley, so he ended up throwing it up. That's the only thing he could do, so it ended up working out.
Well, I saw people debating. Like, some people thought it was a missed throw that he just threw forward, but I was talking to Zuma after.
Someone definitely called us.
Yeah, Zuma said he
should have had tac mask though. That was a little scary. Like, if he had tac mask, that would have went a lot smoother. Since he didn't have tac mask, it was kind of a sketchy throw. And on top of that, Zuma went for the kill, so if he goes for that kill and the ball lands in his hands a second earlier, he throws the ball forward while shooting instead of just dunking it. So there was a lot of things that could have went wrong that didn't. But it was a good play.
When I watched it, that balance looked way too perfect. Like, if I would have threw that exact same ball, that's coming back at me. Like, that looked way too good to, like, I saw the guy come around the back alley, I'm like, he's not really going to get the, like, perfect throw. And then the guy's picked up the ball, I'm like, and he's put it in, I'm like, no, that wouldn't have happened for my team. So
the only thing that ruins that play as well is that they lose the uplink.
Oh, I know.
If they would have won the map, that would have been
Yeah, we'll forget about the overtime. Well, that actually had a weird play too. That's when Attach, I think, got body blocked when he hit overdrive, was trying to round the edge. That was a crazy sequence of events. But guys, we wanted to recap last week in case you missed it. But obviously, the reason these players are here, the reason you are tuning in, is for the action this week. It is the yellow group. It's week 3 of stage 2. Top 2 are going to be going on to play in the playoff. Let's take a look at the schedule of the matches, which are going to be starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be kicking it off. The first match, it's going to be E United versus Rise Nation. Burstini going up against Fellow. Who's taking that one, guys?
Easy dub.
Oh! Oh!
Every time we play against Clay, it's a good match. I'm going to go in, hope for the best, soak up my good karma, maybe give a few dollars to a homeless person, hold open some doors.
I already did that this week.
Make sure.
I've done it twice.
There you go.
I didn't. There's a guy sitting outside of Panera. I didn't give him money. If he asked for food, I would have bought him a sandwich, but who sits outside of a Panera and asks for money?
I don't know. That doesn't seem logical. But I do want to go through team by team. We usually ask this question kind of each week. For you, Felony, is there anybody you think is going to be going off for Rise? Has anyone looked really strong coming into this weekend?
Yuli has probably played the most COD he's played, Aqua, so I'm just going to go with him.
Okay, so Aqua looking for him to have a big weekend. Next up, Burstini.
Who's going to go off for my team?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Clay. I just feel like with us 3, it's whoever's our 4th's going to go off. I mean, if they can shoot straight, you know, it's just we're built around playing against or around one person, I suppose. So Clay's been going off online. Everyone's had their fair share. So, I mean, it could be anyone, but I'm going to say Clay.
Well, a lot of eyes on
actually, I'm going to say Alec.
Okay, yeah, well, they switch roles, right? So how'd that conversation go down? Because I guess I assumed that Alec would keep running the MV4, but I guess they ended up swapping.
Well, we were like losing. We weren't losing, but we weren't playing up to our standards. So we ended up making the switch, and we were just the next few days of scrims were just easy. So we ended up making the switch and not going back. All
right, well, good luck to you guys this weekend. It'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. Mad Cat, for you, Splice, you guys have looked so good over the past couple months, really all year. Who's looking good though coming in this weekend?
I have to give it to Jard.
Okay.
I mean, stats you might not see it, like he rocks for about a 0.7 up, but like you watch the minimap, he's putting down so much aggression that really, if he wasn't there, that we'd look like a bunch of slugs. Like, so I'm gonna have to give it to Jard.
All right, we'll look for Jared to have a big weekend. But no, yeah, he's got a guy hasn't always been flashy in stats, but yeah, he plays fast. Well, I mean, this game, really these past several titles, you have to be able to keep pace with your opposition. Last, rated of Red Reserve. Who's going to have a strong weekend?
Ginger Joe, just because he's due one. He's played terrible all year. so I need Black Ops 3 Joe back. I keep saying it to him.
He's due for a good event.
I keep saying it to him.
What did you say? You say due one?
Joe.
Is due one.
He's due one.
It's like
he's due a good event.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he said something else.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So if it ever seems like I'm just moving the topic along or asking somebody else questions because I don't understand what
But yeah, he's due a good event.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see if he can have a big one. Now, I want to talk a little bit about just individual storylines we have kind of on each team. I know we touched on this a little bit, Burstini, but just I think the reason a lot of fans thought that, you know, Clay was going to be such a boost to this team was kind of the intangibles. Can you talk to me about a little bit early on what he's provided for this roster?
He's just a really good leader. You know, he fixes our mistakes. We actually have team discussions about what we did wrong in these certain maps. You know, the reasons we lost, the reasons we didn't beat this team by more points, what went wrong, rotations, stuff like that. So with this team, Clayster actually brings a whole new, like, I guess, element, like leadership. With Gunless, we never went over strats. Not his fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Clay actually puts us in private match, and we go over S&D now. I mean, we're still not the best at it. We're, you know, kind of booty at it, but, you know, we've gone over strats.
It's effort.
Yeah, we've made efforts to get better at everything.
Well, has he helped? I know there were rumors speculating about why Gunless wanted to leave, you know, maybe not wanting to play with Silly, and Silly's taken criticism, I think, like that before. Do you think having someone like Clay come in helps in that regard? Maybe just with like a maturity thing with Silly at all?
Justin's his own person.
Yeah, he certainly is.
There's no fixing him.
Yeah.
There's literally, like, you can't repair him. He does what he wants. Like, we go into private lobbies, do our S&D strats, and I swear this guy's over here talking to his dog, telling him to stop standing on his food instead of eating it. So, I mean, yeah, you can't really fix that. But Clay does, I guess, they're better friends.
Well, that's why I wondered if, like, I just feel like if you know, he's been around so long, he's accomplished so much.
More.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
coming from maybe a newer up-and-coming person in Gunless, maybe more willing to listen to someone like a Clayster.
Yeah, well, they were friends. They've teamed before.
Back in,
Justin,
like,
yeah,
2011,
MW3.
yeah.
MW3. I was told by Clay. So yeah, I guess Justin really, before Pierce, they were all bad vibes, so they didn't really listen to each other. But so yeah, I guess Justin in a way does listen now a little bit when Clay yells at him too. So, I mean, it takes some yelling, but Justin will sort of listen now. So I guess he does bring more than just leadership to us.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. All right, next up. I know we dabbled on it a little bit, but I want to hear, Rated, from your POV a little bit more about the decision to leave Elevate after they qualified, kind of why you knew you had to do that, even though you had the secured spot. Can you just kind of talk me through that time in your career and how everything went down?
It was pretty depressing. I was literally in the living room most nights, depressed as hell.
Oh, man.
My girlfriend was like, don't worry, it's only 2 more weeks. Yeah. Because I knew from like early on that I'd be leaving, and I pretty much knew that I'd be joining Red. So like in that last game after we beat them, if you watch the reaction, I was actually fuming.
Well, remember, that's when I went up, I think, to interview Reedy, and I don't think either of you realized that you had actually qualified.
Yeah, I thought we'd have to play another game, but then someone said you're qualified, and I was like, oh. I have to play relegation in a week. Yeah, I pretty much knew it was happening. I think everyone knew. Like, everyone just wants to win. Well, me anyway. I don't care if I come second at champs. Everyone was like, oh, you've done really well. It's like, doesn't matter if I didn't win it.
Well, how he talked to me about the Anaheim run a little bit. Obviously, new to the team, well, newish to the team. You guys hit up, what, placing 7th, 8th, I believe, at Anaheim. You smoked through relegation. You do well in pools. Talk to me a little bit about that run.
We choked pools so bad. Yeah. Like, if we didn't get reverse swept by Envy, we get top 2, and then everyone knows, like, if you start in winner bracket, it's a lot more beneficial, even though we would have played Optic first game, but we just got reverse swept by Envy and then lost the game 5 breakout S&D against LG. Beat Epson, so we just got really unlucky in pools. I think if we didn't lose that reverse sweep, that event would have been a lot different. And then loser bracket, we smoked Fnatic, smoked Bittersweet. They were awful as well. You'd basically say that it was unacceptable to lose to us when they didn't get over 100 points on a hard point. They literally got 50 points, both hard points, 1 point in uplink when we got 22. Like, come on, bro.
Those sound like some Elevate stats.
Give it a rest, like. And then we literally choked against Cloud9 as well. Oh my god. We were up 110 to 1. And then 210 to 100 on first map and lost. Oof. And then that was just it. Oh, that was just it.
Oh, hey.
But that wraps up that weekend.
So you're not pleased with the top 8, though? You guys can push
like
much
I
past
said,
that?
like every event, like we just go in it to try and win it. There's no point being happy with a top 8 finish. But yeah, we just got really unlucky and choked a lot of series that event. So I think as long as we stop choking, we should be fine.
All right. Well, we'll see this weekend for sure. Fellow, now I want to talk to you a little bit just about, I guess last summer is where you guys were kind of red hot, this team. I know there's been some changes, obviously, but you end up getting, what was it? You had 2nd at Anaheim, 3rd at Orlando, 3rd at Champs. You come in and then win Vegas. You guys had a 6-month stretch, really, even between 2 titles where you were dominant. What the hell has gone wrong?
So when we dropped Jared and picked up Dan, that's when we won our first event. The reason for dropping him, in my opinion, was we felt like we couldn't get over that hump. And then as soon as we did, we ended up getting over the hump. And then going into Atlanta, we had a lot of everyone had their personal things, not making an excuse. We just didn't play up to our standard that event. Stage 1, didn't qualify by a point, which obviously our faults. Dallas, we had a bad event. We started switching up our roles. It just did not go well. And then Anaheim was probably the most unlucky event I've ever attended. We went 3-1 in pools and dropped the losers, and we played Elevate for our first match. Breezed by that pretty easy, and then no offense, then we played Optic for top 8, and then it was just we lost, and then we're out. And after the event, we're like, I don't even feel like we just lost. Like that was such an awkward position.
It's an unfortunate sequence there when you run into a 3-way tie. I want to know a little bit about, because you know, obviously Looney kind of, he was the leader before with Rise. Facento, I believe, kind of was the leader with Elevate. Having those 2 guys together, what's that been like? Is there bumping heads there? What's the leadership role? How's that kind of work, I guess?
At first, I was kind of worried that, oh, we're bringing in another leader. How's this going to work? But mostly for S&D, that we look straight to Bryce. Dan respects that. And then for Respawn, it's mostly Dan, but at times, Bryce gives us 2 cents too, but usually we don't bump heads. Usually it's pretty smooth.
I was also told that your nickname is Motormouth on the team.
Yes.
Why is that?
I talk a lot. I have no filter. Yeah, I say what's on my mind most part. Yeah, but I think it's entertaining. Why not?
No, I enjoy it. That's why you're on Hot Mic, buddy.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, last. Mad Cat, talk to me about really just kind of you guys finding success. I know with Millennium last year, you guys obviously were winning tournaments, but now with Splice, you know, you get that first win on American soil. You know, that you guys have been back-to-back grand finals. Did anything change, or it just finally everything started clicking?
Like last year, obviously that was a straight mockery of my life. The worst year I've had in COD. Got beat by 2 quick in his last year of playing COD. That was the pinning point to say it's done. But going into this year, the first part of it with Josh, before the game even started, he didn't want to be in our team. Before you even got IW in your hand, he wanted to join the Epsilon team. So
I didn't realize it started that early.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward situation going through all of it, but we played our best, we tried our best, but it just wasn't good enough. When people are having tea parties after Saturday, you can't really come into Sunday and really give it your 100%. So then he decided to leave. I think it was the best for both parties. He definitely made that team 100% better. We got better because we had someone that actually wanted to play with us.
That's got to be one of the most beneficial two-way trades I've ever seen.
Josh was only on that Splice team to spite me and Joe.
Really?
It was meant to be me, Joe, Mad Cat, and Vance, and then Josh just fucked up the base just to spite me and Joe.
Oh, that dirty.
That's the only reason why that Splice team was a team.
Really? I didn't realize that either. Let's talk. I do want to talk a little bit about rivalries, and that'll kind of go back to that storyline a little bit too. So, is that it feels, at least for me, like there's definitely you know, a rivalry brewing, I guess, with you guys in Epsilon. Like, is it have to do with the Josh trade? Do you guys like each other? What's going on there between those two squads? Yeah, for you, yeah, for Splice, okay. For Splice and Epsilon.
Okay, I got no bad blood. Like, I've done my dirty part back in the day, but it was just how it went down. Like, it was like hearing from third parties that my teammates watching Game of Thrones or movies with Epsilon. I'm sitting there like, this doesn't add up. Like, we got Sunday tomorrow. We're not even at the tournament, but I don't mind them guys. The Queef's a bit of a weirdo, but that's about it.
Wait, who is?
The Queef.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh,
a weirdo.
Dave, yeah, I've called him 7 different names while I've been casting. He's a great player, though.
Yeah, he's good.
Wait, his name's Dave, right?
Yeah, it's Dave.
Oh, okay.
They call him DeQueefy.
I was making sure.
Yes.
Never know.
Speaking of rivalries, then, now this started early in the year. I know you and Clay going back and forth, and you decided to pick a fight with one of the most popular Call of Duty players of all time. Which
go all out if you're going to do it. May as well pick someone I'm going to guess something out of it.
I'm just curious, like, is that pretty much died down for you at this point?
I don't really care.
No. I love it. Personally, I love the trash talk.
It's okay. I don't mind. Don't like the guy, don't hate the guy. It's just
he's just there.
It's just
another player. You got to fight him against this. You got to fight him against him this weekend. That'll be great. I'm curious now. Actually, for you, you know, you've seen multiple top finishes throughout the course of this year. Who do you see kind of as your guys' rivals? Is it Optic because you matched up in several finals? Did you feel that way?
For a little bit, I guess you could say, but we didn't have any like bad blood.
These guys rivals with the fans, basically.
Oh yeah,
I was crowd versus the United.
You know,
basically.
I
love that.
When I won, I took the chance. I was up. I was ready to do some other stuff, but you know, I held back. I didn't keep it professional, whatever. But
in that moment, though, in that moment, man, that there was so.
I was taking it up.
I was losing my mind.
They calling us names. They calling me they being rude.
Yeah, I was going to say, whatever word that is.
Good way to put it.
We probably don't need that for the podcast.
Don't worry. They called out when my teammate was defusing before. It was rough.
Oh,
I've had that.
That's demoralizing.
Yeah.
I would literally.
He lost full for the rest of the map. Game 5, grand finals.
I'm saying something to someone. Literally.
Well, let's transition and talk a little bit about some of the key roster moves. I know we've hinted at them a little bit so far on the show. I just want to kind of do like good or bad. If you guys think these trades.
Can we talk about this weather? I don't want to go outside.
Is that thunder?
Are we okay?
I don't know if that's coming through the mic.
I've been shaking this whole day.
That was loud.
Yeah.
It was like
it's supposed to be like this tomorrow too.
I had the warning on my phone. It popped up with like a flash flood warning as I was taking a nap
until 3:15. So I woke up at 3:15.
I saw this car driving.
Okay, well back to it though.
Puddle.
First one, rated to Red Reserve. We saying good or bad? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious.
Good.
What do you think, Rated? Was that a good move?
Yeah, I'm a million times better than Niall.
Aren't we all? No, I'm kidding. I'm not good at it.
Don't know who that is.
There we go.
Is that how you say it?
Stop. Do you not know who Niall is?
Like, I don't know what team he was on last year. No, I've
Okay,
seen his
gotcha.
name.
I thought you were like, that's the first.
I thought he was played last year.
The first time I've actually heard his name.
What team was he on?
I don't even know.
Was it
Oh.
TCM?
Was on.
Oh yeah, he was on that TCM
Yeah,
team, wasn't he?
TCM team.
I heard he was like a good upcoming player. I just didn't know what team he was
I
on.
don't know. I wasn't about
They were clutching at straws on that one.
Well, let's look at some of the other trades. So you had Royalty go to Enigma 6. Brasini, you talked about that a little bit. Yes, some uplink dips, but do you think overall, for the long haul, that is going to be a good move?
Oh, 100%. I guess there were like issues within the team itself, not in game, you know. So I mean, yes, I do think that was a very good trade, both chemistry-wise and. Oh my lord!
Damn.
We're gonna die.
Hey, I hope this is actually coming through to the broadcast. If not, we probably look like, what are these guys looking at? That was loud.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, anyway. Back to it.
Great
so
fit.
Royalty, you think so?
Yeah, they're a very
I thought he looked great.
fast-paced team. E6, I feel like they're a team that at any moment they can beat any single team that plays. Their only problem is if they stay consistent, they can do that to anyone. But they have like their ups and their downs, and that can cost them.
Well, let's talk about the Clayster to E United move. Now, I know we don't really know yet, right? We haven't seen it on land, but I guess overall, are you guys of the opinion that most fans were that this, United got the better end of this with getting Clay? You don't have to answer. We heard your opinion on it, obviously, but from the other three, we can start with you, fella. What do you think? If
your team chemistry is that bad, you're not going to get better in game. You're not going to trust each other. You're just going to constantly bicker and not get better. So in that case, yeah. You're trading two completely different players, an ERAD player, K-Bar player, to someone that ran an MV4. So that could take some getting used to, but overall, I feel like United gets the better end of the stick. What do you think, Madcap?
I think FaZe, them 4 players, they want to win. They haven't won in since AW, is it?
Yeah, it's been.
So you have to change something. You can't just sit and wait. Yeah. The waiting's done. You've tried everything you can, so you need to change. But these guys, I don't think they guys wanting to play with each other, so you need to change something there. And then I think they just both got a good deal. At the end of it, they both needed something.
And then we'll talk about the other end of that a little bit. Then obviously it was Gunless going to FaZe. I know we've only seen a small body of work. I know we touched on a little bit, but overall, like, do you feel? I guess their ceiling has gone up. Phil, what do you think with that?
I feel like their potential is definitely higher. As long as Enable can do a good job of being a leader to them and they all respect what he says, I feel like they can just keep getting better and better.
Well, what do you think about the whole, I mean, if you watched the video during that week, Enable was basically saying, I was the leader while Clay was there.
That's what people just say.
Zuma was saying it as well. Attachback.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they are missing just from watching them. They don't have that person that's getting them hype, keeping them going during the game. But from the weekend, their S&D got better. Statistically, their S&D got better. The respawn got worse.
Elevate.
I think it'd be the other way around.
So,
but
Elevate was 3 wins.
I think they won like 4 search rounds the entire weekend.
Yeah, Elevate.
Yeah,
the highest amount of the game.
They didn't even win collective.
Yeah, it was probably more than 4. No, I remember reading something that said it was like between their first 3 hard points, they hadn't cracked 250 points yet or something like that. So it's like,
that was a rough week.
3 hard points to get through. All right, let's talk a bit about achievements with this group. So this is actually wild. I don't know who all is aware here, but I was surprised when I saw it. But on this particular desk right now, 3 out of 4 of the teams have won a major international event this year. Which is,
I remember when pools got drawn. I saw someone tweet that, and I was like, Maven, why'd you do this to us?
And then you got the best team from relegation.
Yeah,
even though it's Cloud9.
That wasn't to knock you guys at all. Obviously, you're just off top 8, but we've had what, 6 different teams win this year, and 3 of them are in one group. That's pretty unreal. I think that's a big part of the reason that people think this is going to be the craziest group. But let's talk a little bit. With the achievements, obviously, Rise wins Vegas, E United Atlanta, Splice takes Stage 1 playoffs. Pristini, I do want to hear a little bit just about this year for you, because obviously you guys achieve a lot. You're winning an event, people still doubting you, you come back, you win another, but then can you just talk to me a little bit about the period between that success and then what went down with Gunless? Because that had to have been one hell of a headache.
You don't even know, man. It was terrible. Like, I honestly hated the guy for like a week or so, but I don't hold grudges, so me and him are fine now. But it was really terrible to deal with. Like, I was ready to fight the dude if I ever saw him again.
Wow.
That's done now. Like,
well, that's good to hear. But I imagine like that's what I'm asking you, because I assumed it had to have been incredibly frustrating, because it's just you guys are winning, everything seems to be okay, and like that, it's up in smoke.
The people he came up with, he ditched after one bad event. It's 6th. I don't know. Out of 8 teams, it's still bad, I know, but it's like He's probably like, the reason we didn't practice much is because of him and Justin doing his own thing, stuff like that. So, I mean, honestly, if we just came a little bit more prepared and did our thing, I think we could have still been where we were. But, I mean, even then, if we won the event, I still think he probably would have wanted to leave. So, I think it was just better in the long run that he just ended up doing all that.
Well, I just want to hear your opinion because we've you know, we don't always get to have you guys to actually speak to it. Some guys do YouTube videos, some talk about during streams, but just for people not close situations, kind of cool to hear. Like, I didn't know it was that bad that you would have fought the guy. So it's kind of interesting to hear that it got to that point. Glad to hear it's resolved, but still, I mean, I can respect that. Felony, I want to talk to you a little bit about, I guess joining well, I guess Elevate last year, but these guys kind of taking a chance on you because up to that point, I mean, you didn't really have many standout finishes. It's not like you were dropping, you know, 1.2s every event. They take a little bit of a gamble, and then you're placing top 4 throughout the rest of the year. What was that process for you last year?
So I was in stage 1 with CLG. We didn't qualify for stage 2, or season 2, sorry. And I filled in for H2K for a few league matches. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, I have to do good in these league matches, and hopefully I can just get a spot on a team, or I'm just in the gutter at this point. So we played Elevate, and I destroyed them. And then I hit up Bryce after on Twitter, and I was like, yo, drop Remy for me. And he was like, be on Sunday. And I was like, okay. So it just went up from there. And it was literally that simple.
Well, it really worked out for everybody involved. But at the time, I mean, I think there were some of us that were a little bit surprised.
Yeah, Reddit was hurtful.
Yeah, but hey.
I haven't looked at it since, but
I have not gone back since a year ago. All right, further down, Rated, let's talk to you about, I know you said you got top 8 and that wasn't, you feel you could have done better, but you haven't had really great finishes throughout this year. I mean, yeah, coming off of, you know, second at champs. If you look at the major international events, it's been a tough year. I guess how good did it feel for Anaheim to go the way that it did, at least?
I mean,
kind of
if we beat Cloud9, we get a free top 4, and then everyone's talking different about the team. But I think it's just been a rough year. I think, but like I said, this is the business end of the year now. If we do well at champs, then everyone forgets the rest of the year, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Can we flash back a little bit to the beginning of the year? Because I remember a debate that we had to kind of start the year was Splice, was Orbit, who was going to be the top team. That Orbit roster, when you looked at it from Black Ops 3, you're like, oh god, this team is going to be dominant. Things kind of fell apart for you early. Was it all just kind of trickle-down effect from that?
I don't think it fell apart early. I think it was just internationally. Like, we won the first EU event.
That's true. That's true.
Twice.
It was just the big international events.
We were fine, like, domestically. I think it was just internationally. And then Trey wanted to leave.
Yeah, teams are like that. Like, us last year, Millennium, we won.
Yeah, like, they smoked everyone last year.
We won the both seasons, and then internationally, we couldn't even beat 2 quick. Like, come on, that's speaking volumes. You know, you're not even losing to, like, Optical, Elevate. You're losing to 2 quick, like.
Well, this transfers us into my next topic a little bit.
Fast baller.
I've lost the fastball. It was rough.
When that game tag got shown on the screen, I was like, if we lose to these, because we was on a straight slump, because back then, like, I think it was the pre-Cronus, so the Cronus update hasn't come through.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just felt counted the whole weekend, and 3 of us felt that way and was like, we just can't lose to these. And then we lost the first map. I was like, hello. Second map, hello. Third map. Come on, man.
Well, can you talk to me?
Weekend's over.
I want to speak about certainly. I don't know if it's a resurgence, but this is probably the best that EU COD has been. If you're looking at results overall, now you after stage 1 win, you were interviewed and you kind of called out some of the European sides. Can you talk to me about a little bit what you were trying to do there, and if you think things have changed?
I wouldn't say like I was trying to like get teams online. Well, I kind of was, because like.
You want practice?
Yeah, I want practice, but I want good practice. Like, teams are saying, oh, they're coming online. Like, fair enough, you are coming online, but I want you to try, like if you're winning, you're trying. If you're losing, why are you not trying? Like, you're just mocking our practice. End of the day, you should be blacklisted for that. You're lucky there's only 6 good teams, or you'd be blacklisted. But at that time, we didn't play Epsilon, so that was a team that was down. And obviously, as the weeks gone on, teams were taking breaks. So we only had like 1 team to practice, if that. And it was the same this time, so only because there's like 6 good teams, you can't really say everyone needs to be on, but it's just because there's 6 good teams.
Well, but I mean, those 6 good teams. It was funny. I looked at last year for champs. I want to talk about, you know, kind of best. Is this the best year for European COD? I think it's kind of hard to argue that it's not. But last year we actually had 6 European teams make it into the top 16, which I think surprised everyone last year for sure. Do you think this year is going to be better though for EU COD towards champs? Like maybe just overall finishes will be better, but it has to be, right, with some of the recent results.
I don't think you'll get 6 teams in top 16. You might.
If Elevate gets top 16,
I think
I think you get more top teams.
Yeah, I think you get more people in the top 8, whereas you've got like five good EU teams. So I don't think the 6th team will get there.
Don't know, 5.
Top 16.
I'd say 3.
5 that could potentially
I'd say
get a
3.
top 8.
No, I'd say 3.
3.
Us, you, and Epsilon, everyone else is shit, man.
I love it.
That Milvet and the
We're gonna round it at 5 and keep it that way to make.
I think like Fnatic,
everyone was mocking
Fnatic could touch the top 8.
Oh yeah, Fnatic are okay.
I forgot about Millennium.
I don't think Fnatic are gonna get you top 4s. They're gonna get you top 8s.
Yeah, Fnatic might.
But I don't think your Elevate's gonna get out of group, which puts them as like top 20, top 32, top 24.
Yeah, that's the thing with champs. Only 2 teams get out of the group.
I tweeted out before. If you got a double elim tournament, the third place needs to go somewhere, because if you got a stacked you've got a stacked group,
that's
like
different.
you might have this year. Like
but there's 8 pools. If you can't get top 2 with 8 pools.
The thing about champs is champs pools are usually a lot more defined than what Anaheim's was. Anaheim, I had E6.
Yeah, I had LG
E6 Splice, and then
you're not going to be playing those type of teams.
Yeah, you're going to be playing.
I guess you got 8 groups, so it
evens out a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, let's. The last thing I want to touch about it. Like, do you feel? All right, so basically once Splice won the event, I feel like everyone sort of started to celebrate, oh, EU got a win. Did this sort of feel like other teams sort of rode on the coattails of Splice a little bit? Like kind of rode on your victory?
Nah, not really. I don't think we even rode on our victory as much as we should have or could have. I mean, when you get bot by like 5-6 years I've been playing for, like getting bot by them, like you can't even brag like it's one tournament out of 6 years. You can't sit there and get happy. You need to keep doing it and keep doing it. But I feel like everyone in EU kind of knew that we need to keep on doing it. So everyone has tried to like even try to get an all European final. That's what like we would love to do, because at the end of the day, that's 2 teams, not even one, it's 2.
It's been damn close.
I mean, yeah, we need to had us and Epsilon last event, but they lost to Luminous in the winners.
Yeah, I mean, it got real close. Well, let's dive into the EU talent a little bit more, because if you're a newer viewer, I know I still find this odd. I want to take a look at the graphic here. So this is basically, these are your 5 teams currently in Stage 2.
Jerd looks so weird.
Every single player is from the UK outside of Jerd.
He looks so awkward.
Yeah. Why is this? Like, why is it that, you don't see some of your big I think it's European countries
like like the European and NA thing. Practice. Like, we don't really scrim Spanish or French teams that often. Like, we scrim Supremacy now and again.
Is that what it is for the most part?
Like our scrims are usually Splice, Epsilon, Elevate, Millennium.
I think now, like 2017, yes. But if we take it back like 2011, the French team was up there. Like they won their first event in 2011. They haven't won one since. So the French team was up there, but I feel like the players that were at the top back then in the different scenes wasn't teaching the players below them how they should have been taught. Like Gatago was teaching the players to just run round and try shoot everyone and pull out your pistol and try pop that play piece. That's not how you're supposed to play Call of Duty. But I think the new players just haven't really quite grasped Call of Duty and they haven't had the mentors. Whereas the UK, we had people like, I guess, Mac and Toby, Gunch, Excellence. Them sort of people pioneered it for us guys to come through. And then I guess we've taught, and it's been keep going now.
Well, it's just weird to me. Like I guess I just keep assuming that a team's going to come out of nowhere eventually. I mean, I've watched the Spanish League a little bit when you have Heretics and Giants playing with like, what, 20, 30,000 people watching. And it's just like, well, I keep waiting for these teams to break through, but it just seems that the skill gap is so large between some of those major countries and the UK. I just feel like there has to be a lot to it. I mean, but I guess a combination of practice.
And I feel like effort, like before last year, none of us were even on salaries. That's why I think we've got better as well, like the UK teams. Like since before last year, we didn't even have, like, it weren't as our jobs. We couldn't do it full time. Whereas last year we got salaries, this year we got better salaries. So now it's just full-time COD.
That's true.
That's a bit of the same for
North America had a big advantage in that regard, right?
So like half of the players are still in college and stuff, whereas this year it's everyone's full-time job. You have no excuse.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I was just curious to kind of talk about it because I think it's wild that there hasn't been like just a French, Spanish, or German team that's kind of come out of nowhere. But hey, guys, early in the show, we got Twitter involved. We asked you to use the hashtag MLG Hot Mic and talk a little bit about what house for Game of Thrones you thought these players were coming in, and who does watch it here?
Me. I watch it.
Rated watches it, fellow watches it, I watch it. Mad Cat, you watch Game of Thrones? You don't look like someone that watches TV much, do you?
Nah.
Game of Thrones is the best
Power.
TV show.
You watch Power?
I watch Power. I watch. I think I started watching Gotham recently.
Good show.
Suits as well. I used to watch Suits and White Collar. I think that's the only.
I watch White Collar.
I mean, I watch EastEnders every day. Don't get it twisted. I've been watching EastEnders
Do they
since.
even know what EastEnders is?
It's like a soap. I've been watching EastEnders for about 2 years old. Me and my nan used to watch it, so I've like kept it. Me and my girlfriend watch it every night.
You need to watch Game of Thrones. Now, I am curious. The show's amazing. You need to watch it. I want to know what some of you guys said at home. What's the first tweet that we have coming in from fans? This is from Champ_COD. So Bristini, Stark. I don't even know like if this is a joke, like saying you die a lot because you know all the Starks die. You don't even watch the show, but I'm not sure if that's
ruined it for anyone watching it.
I know.
All the Starks die. They all get the headshot.
They're all
They're all
gone.
dead.
That's why. There's still a couple left.
Isn't Lannister the guy who marries the girl with the silver hair?
Oh, there's more spoilers,
God.
man.
That's
What is
We
happening?
may as well just give everyone in-depth
Just tell them what
analysis.
happens.
That's his-
Catch 'em all
that's
up.
his
Like,
sister.
he's the big guy, isn't he? The big guy. Nah.
Oh, you're on about, I know what you're on about. Yeah,
dog?
he's
The
with
guy-
them.
the one that-
Oh, the Hound?
Yeah.
So who's Lannister then? Which one's he?
Wait, so okay, wait, real quick. Rated
The
was
one with the one hand.
rated.
You put
Does
me one
look-
hand.
Don't need to bring that up.
Does look a
Come
little
on, I
bit
got
like
two hands.
Sam.
Come on, like I'm not that bad. Like the fuck.
Let's see the next one.
Wow.
They all belong in the House of Burgers.
They all belong
Who
in
the
the
fuck are
House
you?
of Burger. Actually,
This
you know-
guy's instantly blocked.
You know what's funny?
He definitely watches.
You
it
want to know
every
who
weekend.
Ethan is? Yeah, have you heard a voice in your ear at all? He's actually our producer, and he's directly through that door.
So
you're
right, he
fired.
definitely watches it every
He's
weekend.
getting bad Ethernet cords this event.
Yeah, you know I'm 0.5.
Ethan weighs approximately 85 pounds. He's not a big guy. So if
He
you
is fucked then.
Yeah, he
all right. Okay, so we did the Game of Thrones stuff. We also like to do community questions. They had some questions to come through. Let's see what the first one's going to be. I believe it's going to be from the Alt Affy. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but who's that one teammate that always gets on your nerves?
Can I go first?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Aqua. I
Yes.
knew that was the answer.
So the reason we were late for media day today, he texted us about 7 o'clock and says, "I missed my flight." And we're like, "Okay, but why?" And he goes, "I was slow." And we're like, "What do you mean you were slow?" And he was like, "Well, listen, I live 10 minutes from the airport. My flight was at 12:30. I left my house at 12." And we all looked at him like, "This guy serious?"
Doesn't he live in California?
Yeah.
Traffic a little bit there.
We have a notepad going. We're gonna publish a book by the end of the year with his quotes. It should be good.
He's an interesting character for sure.
Yeah.
Bristini, who's the one that drives you crazy?
I want you to take a guess.
Silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
feel
your answer.
I feel that I could actually. I've never been in your comms for scrims, but I feel that I could guess these. Let me try, Matt. I'm gonna try and guess yours. It's got to be Trey, right?
What in game?
Yeah. No, who's the annoying one on the team? Like
What in game or out of game?
Ooh, I want both.
Okay.
Bance.
In game, Bance. Listen, this guy pulled out a scout with 5 seconds to go the other day and said it was a good play. First of all, he pulled a scout right next to 2 teammates. Second of all, there was 5 seconds left. It wasn't a good play. But this guy still argued to today. I just don't get it. Like, and he goes to me the other day, "I'm always right." So I was just like, okay.
People are truly built differently.
Yeah, people are built differently, I guess. Some people don't want to give it up, but
Fans.
then out of game, I guess Trey's he's a lively character. He likes to tweet a lot. He's got his ass muted for that, but
I mute Jack. I muted Jack, Mr. X, like most of my colleagues I have muted, so I could see that.
Makes you hate him less.
Does it have to be on my current team? I don't really have anyone. I like my team.
Wow, he's going with the good vibes.
No, I'm serious. Like, no one gets on my nerves in this team. If it was my old,
I know what you're trying to do. Good try.
No, I can do my old team.
There's just love on
I
this
can do
team.
my old team.
All right, we can do give me your old team. Watson, really?
Liability.
oh, liability to the
He is.
If him and Silly teamed, they would be a dynamic
Literally.
duo.
Bro, they'd be getting on at 6 o'clock and they wouldn't get there to their mics at 12 midnight. You'd be sitting there like, where are they gone? Like, you bring them up like, where are you? Oh, I'm at the rave. Where are you? I'm at the rave as well. Like, come on, man.
All right. I think do we have one more question? I don't know. Ethan, the burger guy. We do have one more question. It's going to be who has been the breakout player so far this year? I think for a lot of people it was Gunless, at least for the early part of the year. Is there anyone else for you guys that really jumps to mind? Maybe that kind of broke out. Priest? Oh yeah, he is a monster. I've only watched I watched his stream quite a bit. He's a beast. What about maybe from Europe? Is there any breakout player that really jumps to your mind?
I think.
I guess you say Trey, but he was sort of there last year as well.
Trey or DeQueeve, like, I guess like
Oh, yeah, Dave.
Trey was more established last year than DeQueeve, so I
Yeah,
guess
you
have
got
to say
Dave.
DeQueeve.
And it's for Dave on Epsilon, so people are clear.
Pat had a good event last event. We're going to go with Pat. He went from like a 0.7 to a 0.9. Pat. That's the first time I've seen him shoot straight in years.
I turn on him so much.
Every time I see Pat's character, I'm like, it's a trophy guy. I'm pushing him. I'm pushing him.
It's a free kill every
Yeah, you go
time.
right at him, full force.
It's a free kill.
Yeah.
I see the Centurion. I'm like,
I hope he's watching.
I'm like, it's
literally
a trophy guy. I got
across
this.
the map.
Do I have time for a story real quick?
I would love a story.
All right. At Vegas in finals, it was Bryce and Pat in a 1v1. Bryce is camping a corner. He goes, "Who's last guy alive?" And I said, "Pat." He's like, "I'm running at him. I'm running at him." He's just sprinting around the map with the robot, jumping everywhere, and just kills him.
Did he win it? He won
Yeah,
it.
he won it. It was funny.
I hope so.
Well, guys, we've had a lot to come so far this year. We still have a couple more weeks left of the league. We have the $500,000 playoff, but the big one, we've got COD champs, $1.5 million on the line. We're getting hyped. It's getting closer and closer. Take a look at this quick video.
Can't wait to throw those rings on combo. Back to the back. World champion. Attach is on it. He's on it. The Centauri's gonna fall. And Attach is gonna get the defuse. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2016 Call of Duty champions, Team NBA. Oh, this crowd is ready. The time has come. Look at Scump in the camera. Slide.
I'll be honest, that got me hyped, man. I cannot wait. There's something special about champs. I remember, dude, casting the final last year with my man Rated down there playing against Envy. Like, I know this wasn't the best moment for you, but like when that USA chant kicked in, like the place was filled. That's what, dude. You were beaming people in the XR2 like it was suddenly the best gun in the game.
I thought that when that gun killed me one time, I thought I got sniped. Yuli was screaming at me. He said, "Stop getting sniped." I looked at him and went, "That was an XR2?"
Yeah, like
he
6 1 bursts in a row.
He looked at me and he's like, "I'm so sorry," because he died by it the next round. It was great.
I was literally so bad with that gun until them last two series. I literally couldn't use it. That's why we had to keep protecting the HVK, because I couldn't use that gun.
I cannot wait. So you guys got third last year, second. Pristine, this is your first champs?
24th. 32.
Oh, top. I was thinking for a second it was your first champ, so top 32.
Nope,
so do you think that you're probably going to improve on that this year?
No.
No. We're still shooting.
No, I dropped 51 for the loss, and then we got 3-0'd by H Quicker's team. Who was that? The online team.
Hyper Games last year?
Yeah, we lost every map barely. After uplink, they scored 2 points and kept 15ing it. I was pissed.
Matt, you've been competing for
I haven't attended COD champs
forever.
I've never.
What's your favorite champs memory?
I've never been.
Did I play you at champs last year?
I've never been.
Oh, dude, I was
Well,
shocked. I thought you were serious.
We're forgetting all of our moments. We're just going,
I don't remember. I remember like one series from that event.
This Swan didn't even turn up last year. That was.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was just the icing on the cake for the whole year. Like,
Nah, what actually happened was Swan knew that he was playing me,
Oh.
so he just dodged the loss.
You put the fear of God in him.
Yeah, he just didn't turn up on purpose.
the winner of our game ended up being the best bracket I've ever seen at an event. There was.
What? We took out Phase, Elevate, Rise.
No,
No, come on.
The winner bracket, there was 4 teams. There's 4 EU teams right next to each other. So the one was guaranteed top 6.
Oh, I do remember that.
We got bracket blessed.
That was the worst. There was only one EU team at the bottom of the bracket, flooded with the Americans, and it was us.
So that's how you got third last year.
We almost had to play. No, you don't understand. It was hitting the fan. Jared and Yuli would fight every day. We'd get on the scrim. I look at our bracket. If everything goes like according to plan, we would have had to play Optic for top 12, and then the winner of that plays Envy for top 6. So it was looking slow. But then FaZe beat us, and we got the easy bracket. So everything went.
Well, that was gifted.
Yeah, thanks, Clay.
Thanks, Clay, right? All right, guys, but let's take a look at the schedule again. We're all here for one reason. That is the matches that kick off tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's E-United Rise Nation to kick it off. To close the night, it'll be Splice going up against E-United. Splice have been on an absolute tear as of late. Can it continue this weekend? But, guys, any final thoughts? It was really fun to have you on here. I thought you all did an excellent job.
I want to go get food, but I'm afraid to walk outside.
Actually, I'm kind of curious what's been going on out there. I wonder if the thunder came through, because that was incredibly loud. But we're excited to go. Thanks again, guys, for coming on. Matches tomorrow, 4 p.m. It's been another episode of Hot Mic. We'll see you tomorrow.